Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous with Down to Earth Astronomy. I am afraid that I am the bearer of bad news. There's just been posted a very long post on the Frontier forum by Frontier themselves, which is what they call an important community update. I'm going to run through it now. I'm going to give you my points. I'm going to try to evaluate a little bit on what's going on here, because this is pretty big news, I think. Okay, so the post starts out with them talking about, look how many people are still playing. Hundreds of thousands of people are apparently logging in Elite, and saying what an amazing journey the last 6 years has been, and they praise the community for all the live meetups, and look how great of a community this is. At this point I got a little worried, because when game developers begin to do that and say, look at all the great stuff we've done in the past, that pretty much that was my first warning sign when my alarm begins to ring, saying, wait, something's going on here. So I read on. They then began to say, there was a really weird way to put it. They said, then they begin to mention the Q4 update that's coming out in a number of weeks. So it's sometime in Q4, right? But number of weeks, what's a number of weeks? I mean, it's gonna be Q4, so it's still gonna be at least a month or two. I'm not expecting that to drop anytime soon. But again, they try to draw focus on that. Look at all the amazing stuff that's coming just around the corner. They say that they have over 100 people working full time on Elite, and look at all the free updates we got this year. So again, it's more trying to draw a lot of positivity to the game. See, look how amazing all this stuff we're giving you guys is. Again, more warning signs for me. I was really worried when I was reading this, and I was thinking, what the hell is going on? Are they heading into maintenance mode? What's going on here? They didn't mention all the stuff that we already know about Q4. They mentioned the exploration changes, they made the squadron update, and they mentioned the mining update. Notice something missing from that list, though. I'll come back to that, but keep that in mind. Again, I'm actually getting quite worried here. I mean, what they're building up to something. When someone spends that much time going over positive things in a game, for no apparent reason other than that it's an important update, well, this is all stuff that we know, maybe apart from the actual number of people working, but I don't think they made a long post like that to announce that. There's something coming, and there's something coming later in this post, so I kept reading. They say then that they want to share something new that they haven't shared with the community yet, and then they follow on saying, and I quote, "We ain't going to be ready to talk about the announcement in any detail for quite a while yet. It is early in the stage of development, and there's still a large way to go. But I can say that this is something that will be scheduled to release a considerable time after the final update in the Beyond series." So this was a really weird section for me. They said, we have something new that we want to show you, and something we want to announce that we haven't really done, but we can't really do it because we were just going to say that there's going to be new stuff coming. Smoke and mirrors right now, I think. And then one thing that really worried me about this, considerable time. What does that mean? What is a considerable time in Frontier terms? But what to take away from this, I think, is the fact that what this tells me is there's gonna be a very long period after the Q4 update dropping later this year, where we're not even gonna have a roadmap. Normally, it's normal practice that you would make sure that you always have announcements of the next patch over, not just the next patch dropping, but the one after that. So people kind of know when your next patch drops what to expect. So there's always something that people can be excited about, to wait about. Looks like we're not going to have that after Q4. There's going to be a considerable time where there will be no roadmap for Elite, where we don't know where the game is going. But how large is this gap? Considerable time, is that months? Is that a half a year? Is it a quarter? Is it a year? I don't know. No one knows. Hopefully Frontier has a vague idea about it, but again, not really that positive, I think, at this point. So now we begin to get into the meat of this post. They've really been building up. They've been focusing on all the posted stuff. They've been saying that there is going to be amazing stuff coming in the future after the Beyond series of update. And they then begin to get into the meat where we begin to actually get the part of the post where they talk about what they are actually going to say. And again, I quote here from the post. During this process, we have made a decision to adjust the focus of content that were previously planned for the Chapter 4 update, adding some significant new gameplay, but it also means that some other aspects will have to change. So here they're saying we're going to change the scope for Q4 update. That means they said they will add some new gameplay. What that is, we don't know. But they're also going to take something else out. And at that point, I was going to say, okay, so this is what this is all about. They're going to remove something from the Q4 update. Yeah. But anyway, and then the post follow-ons, and again, I quote from the post. This means that some elements of content such as ice planets and fleet carriers for squadrons will not be coming as part of the Beyond Chapter 4 update. So that means that the pretty nice renders that we have seen at something like LavCon and the fleet carriers for squadrons are not gonna come. They say they will add it later on, but they are not gonna announce when. They didn't talk about what that other significant new gameplay was, and they didn't really mention that. They pretty much just said that they're gonna cancel Ice Planet, they're gonna cancel fleet carriers. What that means is, unfortunately, they're still gonna add Squadron, but so if we look at the Squadrons, what they were before they were a very, very basic social structure that allowed people to band together in the game, something that I actually believe should have been the game from launch. But they're going to allow people to band together so they could fly under the same tag, and there's going to be a rank structure, and they're going to get an in-game chat, and that's about it. So an in-game chat for people to band together. But previously, the main thing that you would use the squadrons for was to have your own fleet carrier. That was pretty much the selling point for having the squadrons. At this point, now that they're removing the fleet carriers, from my point of view, the squadrons are pretty useless. Because, so what do you get? You get all your friends, you're in a squadron now, and then what? I mean, you're not going to get any new gameplay features, you're not going to be able to use that new squadron feature for anything other than maybe adding some kind of tag to your name in-game, and that's it. In-game chat? Sure, but to be honest, who uses it? In-game voice chats? Yeah, okay. Who uses that? I mean, I think I've used that once in my time, maybe twice in my time in Elite. Use Discord. I mean, they all, yeah. At least I think that makes squadrons a lot less usable to the brink of being completely useless. Previously, the fleet carriers was really what was dragging the squadrons up as being something you could get hyped about, because fleet carriers, we didn't really know what it was, but it's going to be something big that you're going to be able to get, and you're going to get your friends together in a squadron. You can work towards completing this thing, and now you're not going to be able to do that anyway. So that was really a huge disappointment, and I thought, okay, so this is what they've been building up to. This was what all the smokes and mirrors were for, where they were trying to wrap this in all this positive things about the game that they mentioned. But it doesn't stop there. No. Frontier's not done yet. So they continue, and they talk about the premium content. Now, there's been a lot of talk on the forums that back when Horizon launched, which was not the 2 series of updates, they sold what they call the lifetime pass, and when people bought the lifetime pass, they would be able to get access to all future paid content for free. But there have not been any paid content since that pass was released. That means that there were some people who paid a significant premium back then who have so far received nothing for that lifetime pass, and that has made a lot of people very angry, and that's very understandable, of course. So they go on to talk about this, and say that they are also going to cancel the premium content for the Q4 update. previously have said there will be some kind of premium content you're going to be able to buy into, but now there's not going to be that anymore. So that means that if you are a lifetime pass holder, there is yet again a unforeseeable future, or a considerable time before you're going to be able to actually use that lifetime pass for anything and get something for free out of the extra money you spent. So overall, I think this is really a hard blow for the Q4 update. There has already been a huge amount of negativity around that Q3 update, which we just got a week ago, less than a week ago. And both the Q2 and the Q4 have been a little bit negative. And a lot of people have said, oh, but it's going to be okay because we're going to get Q4. It's going to be a huge, huge patch. And now something like this drops. I think this is something Frontier's known for quite a while. The reason why they're dropping this now is because it is right after the Q3 update. And they were hoping that that would kind of create some hype and some positivity around the game. And they would then be able to slide a bad news in there about something that's not going to come in Q4. I think they've known this for a while, and I think that's why we haven't seen the focus feedback. Obviously, that's why we haven't seen the focus feedback for the fleet carriers yet, which a lot of people are beginning to be very curious about why that was missing. And they tried to save it by covering up in all this, talking about some of the amazing stuff they've done in the past, and look what an amazing journey it's been the last 6 years. So that was pretty much the post. Of course, I'm going to list it in the description. You can go and read the whole thing yourself. I think this is really, really bad timing for Frontier. Especially with games like No Man's Sky, who just got a massive update, the No Man's Sky Next update, which received positive reviews all around. And lots, especially the casual players, are beginning to, I think, migrate away and getting over to something like No Man's Sky. And we also have a game like X4 coming out later this year, which is going to be a huge competitor. And if we're going to be in a situation where new games comes out and other games get huge update and Elite is just not going to have a roadmap, which I talked about earlier, well, then unfortunately I could see this being a pretty hard blow for a game like Elite. So anyway, please let me know in the comment section what you think of all this. Did I miss something? Am I completely wrong in some of the point of view that I have? Feel free to share that in the comment section down below. Even though it was bad news, I hope you liked the video anyway. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, I will see you guys in space.